to this week's Friday Imperial Assault stream with me, Isaac. So, apologies for the delay. I actually accidentally hit the start recording button instead of start streaming because I'm a pansy.
It was dress rehearsal.
Yeah, exactly. But so what you heard right there, I mean, you probably know if you've read the title, but this week I'm honoured to be joined by one of my oldest friends, both in the world of Imperial Assault and just
It was dress rehearsal.
Yeah, the one and only Alistair. How are you doing, Alistair?
How's it going? I'm good. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. So,
and I look forward to bringing back some of the some wisdom to some of these new tricks you've put into this lovely game that I used to play. So it's excited to see what we'll be showing off today.
Yeah, well, I'm very curious to see your thoughts because as far as I'm aware, I don't think you've played much of IACP Season 4, have you?
No, I follow it. I think it's many people do sort of by the postings, but I haven't actually either played or watched games in sort of a level a mission by mission or sort of turn by turn mode. I have been generally very impressed with what I've seen in the way the community's responded to things. The volume that ICP is putting out in terms of new changes is really impressive, which I think was always what made the game, was one of the things that made the game so exciting when we were playing it. And I'm really happy to see the way people are engaging with each of the new updates. So even the stuff I've just been looking at in advance of this game sort of sounds like something I'm looking forward to seeing on the table.
Yeah. Well, amazing.
It's all fresh and new to me.
Awesome. Well, again, I'm very curious to see exactly what you think, especially the list I built for you. So, hello to everyone in the stream. I can see the audio levels are a little bit hippy-dippy. Yes. It should be fixed now. I've played around with the levels a little bit. Let me know if it's still bad, and I'll reduce the external audio even more. Yeah, no, exactly. So, essentially, what we'll be doing today, if you can hear me, maybe you can't, in which case there's null and void. But anyway. So, as this is Alistair's first game with IACP Season 4, pretty much, I built a list for him, and then we're going to go over the cards one by one, and we're going to talk about them a little bit, see what he thinks, and then, we'll just see exactly what all the combos. A little bit more, okay, I'll decrease it. There we go. Now it should be, I think, hopefully, relatively balanced. If not, let me know.
Okay,
cool. So, so let's dive right in. We will get rid of this beautiful logo and put the display capture up instead. So first and foremost, I think we'll just go in numerical order. First, okay, the music is still loud. So what we'll do, we will decrease the music to almost nothing, and then you can still hear Alistair and me fine without us being drowned out by the music. That should be fine.
Or off rhythm, which probably be more are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Now the music should be way softer, but hopefully Alice isn't too loud. I mean, he usually is too loud, but and now I'm just
exactly
on.
I'll restrain myself. Try not to excite me too much.
Alrighty. So first and foremost, we have the short trooper unit. So the short troopers are interesting in the fact that they are, they are rather, essentially they are stormtroopers on steroids. So you've got the classic things. You've got the search for plus accuracy, plus search for +2 damage. And then we've got squad training, which is just a classically good ability. When you're adjacent to another trooper, you can reroll an attack die. Efficient travel helps them because of the theme as well. And their attack is surprisingly devastating.
Yeah, I mean, being out of the world a little bit, coming back and looking at this, these do seem to be everything I used to look for and get excited about in a card.
Yeah.
I'd say that the thing that sort of jumped out at me first off, though everything here is really good, is the speed of 5.
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind either thematically or for the game to have such a fast trooper?
Yeah, for sure. So thematically speaking, they are used to running around in sand and in shallow water, so they are very used. Essentially, regular stormtroopers, they usually stand around on a metal platform all day. They don't really get a lot of exercise for their legs, whereas short troopers, they have to work out a little more. So that's why they would be a little faster than regular stormtroopers. From a gameplay perspective, we wanted to create something which would differentiate between jet troopers and something like, say, sentries. I mean, comparing them right now, they are slower than jet troopers if the jet troopers are able to get their attack off within 2 spaces, because the jet troopers then have 4 movement points, gain +2 when they attack within 2 spaces. So they go up to 6. Whereas this unit is essentially a slightly slower but more flexible version of the Jet Troopers, but they are also a lot easier to kill considering that they don't have agile.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of the thought process. Have something which would be a viable substitution for Jet Troopers without making them just better in every regard. So
well, they look good. I suppose the thing that makes them interesting is with that speed, and this is always true with sort of things like hired guns or any sort of high-speed characters. They tend to spread themselves around the map really quickly away from each other. So that idea of the sort of rolling wave of stormtroopers working together is going to be a little bit more interesting with this, unless, as in the list I'm running, you have enough stormtroopers to have one just about everywhere.
yeah, exactly. So next up, we don't need to talk about this too much, I think, but you can probably share your thoughts as you did win 1 national championships and at least 1 regional championships with this very unit. So that's the Elite Stormtrooper, and in IACP Season 1, it was buffed in as far as it went from 9 deployment points and 3 figure cost to went down to 7. So a lot more affordable to put in the list, but they still give out just as many points when killed.
Yeah. I'm sure you feel in a way with ICP you're sticking to some of the design principles that made the game so good, and one of them was there was always a trooper unit. There always needed to be a really good, viable vanilla trooper unit. I have a good friend named Pete who sort of suggested that the game moved too far away from stormtroopers, which were necessary, to the game, to the theme. But I actually really disagreed. I think every box set came with a new variety of stormtrooper, and stormtroopers always need to be the sort of workhorse baddie, both for the campaign and the skirmish mode. The reason stormtroopers, I think, early on were in the revised version of the game were so good was just like you've just described. Almost everything on the card is good. The health was good for the points. The reroll, the +2 surge, all of those meant that you were going to get a really consistent amount of damage through. But then for a long time, I think they were a little bit too gettable, the lightsabers getting around. So hence coming in with stuff like faster jet troopers and riot troopers, etc. So it's nice to see that 2-point change has really made the difference for these, and has seen a lot of people being able to make the math work and fit them into the list, which I'm glad to see.
Yeah, exactly. So they did see some play in Season 1 of ICP, but then unfortunately they dropped down a little bit after that, mainly due to, I think, Season 2 and 3 came out with very big changes to, especially Guardians in Season 3. That was a very big change that we had in Season 3. But in Season 2 there was a lot of focus on Force users, and which meant that a lot of players who, they just want to run around with lightsabers and slash people, they could finally do that. And I mean, just like you said, in a world of lightsabers, stormtroopers don't do too well. And that was kind of the issue, which is why the next card we're going to look at was designed basically to counteract that problem. But yeah, so in this list we'll have 2 sets of elite stormtroopers. You're going to have 6 of these running around the board, which is they're just consistent, good, cheap. You can't really complain.
And I think the best way to play them against a good player, if anybody wants to sort of experiment with them, is to really reserve the activation. I think that it's very easy to consider them. I'll get them into place for later, but because they do go away, they are such an effective strike when all 3 are live with a few cards, that anything you can do to either make them a surprise attack with new orders or a change of plans, but not sort of put them out where your opponent will get a chance to make them a 2 attack or even just sort of react to your placement of them. They are a very late play for me, always if I can avoid it.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so looking onto the next card, this is a brand new figure introduced in Season 4, and it's actually, so I don't know if I can say this or not, I'm not sure if Noah's watching, but I'm just going to say it anyway before he can stop me, before he cuts the stream. In the voting for Season 4, he is one of the very few cards which currently has a 100% approval rating, so the community doesn't like him and what he does. So, I mean, in a nutshell, what he does is that he gives out power tokens to friendly figures, and then when a trooper or guardian within 2 spaces of him spends one of those tokens, they may suffer a strain to double the effects. So what are your thoughts, or rather first thoughts on this when you read it?
Well, it's almost what I would have loved to have seen way back in the game with figures like Soren. I think that, I'm going to keep taking this back to a reflection of sort of what the game came from as opposed to what it's come into. But queen pieces like this are really fun when they create an interesting effect, make a problem for your opponent to solve, where they have to sort of deal with them. And I think Thrawn is a really good example of one of the later ones that came in where he was viable. They made him pretty punchy, but he had a really interesting game state effect. So
Yeah.
I like this very much. I think in a trooper list, it's the trick will, I suppose, be where to put those tokens where they're not where they get to be fully viable before they're being used. Where obviously a really powerful guardian figure, say a swapped in Onar or somebody who gets it, it really pushes that power up when you can almost add 2/3 of an assassinate to an attack.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like that the the attack pool seems to be relatively reserved, and I think 7 health is actually a really good sweet spot number for a queen piece. 8 and 9, and they can be a little bit more survivable than I think they deserve to be.
Yeah.
We never look like Krennic could take too much of a hit, so
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's about right.
Yeah, exactly. So the reasoning for giving him 7 health is that was actually met with quite a lot of flack, because a lot of people saying, well, the 7 is way too gettable. Yeah, that's kind of the point. In Imperial Assault, we have definitely seen a gravity of going towards high damage output, high support value, and high health. Whereas I think encouraging this kind of protect the queen style of gameplay, where Krennic puts out an insane amount of value, so he will be your opponent's first target, which means you are going to want to keep him alive somehow, which is why actually, I might not have given it to you in the list, but he does have what's it called?
A unique.
He has advanced comm systems attached to him because in ICP, advanced comm systems is 0 points. So,
of course.
So all of his abilities will now affect within 3 spaces, which makes him a lot more playable. And the reason that he was, I've spoken about this on the podcast, but the reason that he has within 2 spaces is because you're rarely going to run him without it. But now you could run him with Sorin or with Kane.
Yep.
And then just have him with in there as well. And he's going to be clearly less effective than them because his range will be within 2, whereas they will be within 3. And that's kind of the point with Krennic. He isn't cooler or better than Sorin or Kane, but it can work with them.
Yes. Yeah, I think the Imperials are really interesting for this because most of the special figures you're going to get are going to be officers of some kind who need to be gettable. But the reason the Imperial officer figure, the 2-point figure, has always been such a fun and useful figure is that it can be a runner. It can do those leader command cards.
Yeah.
I think Sorin here is sort of Krennic here, sorry, is sort of placed where you wouldn't necessarily worry about using those leader cards with him, since neither of his abilities seem to be on activation. So it's got that sort of passive aura effect. So you can be sort of saying, I'm going to dedicate some of those leader cards or effect cards to him, or move him, or simply move him around the map to get away from problems, or use him as a soft control. So that we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of information on the card, which which makes it seem very, very powerful. But I think that it'll be interesting to see how he does. I'm not sure if the game has added a lot of space manipulation in terms of moving people around, bumping people around, whipping people around, but I could see him being vulnerable to being caught out of position in certain games.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when introducing someone to ICP, unless they are a star tier player like yourself, I really wouldn't give them Krennic, because Krennic was designed to be a difficult to play figure. It's going to take a big amount of positioning skill to be able to pull it off correctly, because he is so killable, and those auras are so good that you do really want to get rid of him. Which is why command cards such as Get Behind Me, I think, is very critical in that list.
And arguably perhaps the Death Troopers as well.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason he has the +1 Surge Innate is because we wanted him to be able to double a token when he plays it himself, because that just makes sense, but there wasn't really a clean way to word it and make sure that he couldn't do it on, say, Vader or other non-trooper or guardian figures. So we decided to just give him an innate surge, and then if he wants to have 2 surges going into an attack, he can give himself that. And his attack, it's wishy-washy, but I've seen him do 6 damage to a figure in one attack. If you get really lucky, it's possible with those surges, because his surges are really good.
Why? This is again design mentality, but I'm interested in the difference. I've always been interested in cards that read a figure or another figure. when the decision is made, let's actually have this piece really rely upon the alternates as opposed to it for itself. So what was the thinking behind making him able to do it for himself?
Yeah, exactly. So the wording, I think it was a while ago. I think the original wording was when you or a friendly trooper or guardian within 2 spaces spends a token. But then we thought, okay, so but Krennic is the guy who's designed all of this, and the idea with that name unhinged director, it's basically he's just going absolutely bonkers. He's shouting at people and making them suffer a lot of stress or strain.
Got it.
And he can't really shout at himself.
That makes sense. He's got both. He can give himself the token, but he's going to be ordering. I think that's the right way to design it. And I think also, I'm sure it was written on a whiteboard somewhere at FFG. Sort of create movie moments. Make sure the characters sort of can do the things that people sort of want to see or want to enjoy doing. So
which is why we literally have a command card for him called Deploy the Garrison, which is very, very good. It's a little bit controversial. Some people think it's too good. Some people think it's too bad. Because there is a serious cost associated with it, but the value in the card can be game winning.
Well, you should be happy if people are still arguing about whether or not things are too good or too bad. That's
exactly. Alrighty. So then the final IACP card in the list is a squad upgrade attachment. I could go on a full ramble on how exactly these cards work, but in short, this card is an attachment, and it adds a group to the unit, to the card it's attached to. It adds a figure to the group it's attached to. But the figure uses all of the keywords, abilities, surges, and everything of its own card, but it just activates with the group. But it is also considered part of the group. It's
so a little bit like a junk droid, but sort of included as a not a companion.
Pretty similar, yeah. So the way it works, it's got a 2x2 base, so it's a little bit chunky. But what's very interesting about it is the fire mission double action, which is perform an attack. You may draw line of sight from any figure in this group, but still measure range from this figure. Apply blast 1 to the attack results. And with a innate 2 accuracy and blue-blue-green, it can hit pretty far. So what are your thoughts on this? This is a very radical figure.
Yeah, I mean it's almost mission effect the figure, isn't it? In the sense that like it reminds me of the wonderful 4x4 with raining fire from the sky in terms of the accuracy. I have played games that have done mortar and shelling effect before, and it's interesting how important artillery of that kind has always been to any kind of land battle, but also how people make it fun and make it fair, make it game, and usually. What I have seen, I can't think of the game off the top of my head, it may have been some Mech Warrior game, you sort of call a point and then you get reasonably close to it, but you may not hit exactly the point you had in mind. That idea of the sort of the sort of bombardment of a certain area, but not have the accuracy. So to me, seeing 2 blues, a green, 2 accuracy, and 2 accuracy, I feel going in with this figure that I'm pretty confident with almost unlimited range on most maps. The area control, therefore, is massive. It's the question being, of course, once you've lost your spotters, which must happen in a game, is this still going to be really threatening and viable once figures have to get into its own line of sight? So with a big base, it's probably there's some very good places to keep it where you can sort of really control the battlefield and not be reliant on the other figures. It doesn't, I suppose, die if both of the main non-upgrade groups die.
Correct. No,
it can live on its own.
Yeah, exactly. It's still on the map, but it gets obviously significantly worse with a speed of 3, and it can move through blocking an impossible terrain. We basically said that because I recalled back when you designed the horrible list tournament, and we realized, oh my god, if you put Jabba in a list, in a really bad list, Jabba actually can't get out of the majority of deployment
He can't
zones.
fit through certain things.
Exactly.
He
So we
can't
had to do
around.
something to get around that, because there were even some maps where you could deploy him, but you had to deploy him in the back corner of your deployment zone. So even with the big boost, he wasn't doing anything. So he was actually changed in IACP Season 4.1, because previously he didn't have the +2 accuracy in 8, and he didn't have the surge for +2 accuracy. which meant that he wasn't hitting very well with range, because, again, he doesn't have any rerolls and no way to boost his range. Now, in contrast, he's amazing with range, which is why he's looking very good in the voting. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. I mean, him paired with Krennic is so good, because Krennic being able to give him +2 damage on his attacks. The mortar is completely fine to take a damage from that strain, because it's so far back from the action that it's not really going to take a lot of attacks anyway.
And was there any sort of rock, paper, scissors aspect to this figure in terms of what you thought it might be a reasonable complement to, or was it? It's interesting. I've only been on podcasts where we sort of have to divine the designer's intentions, whereas this is the first time I'm speaking to somebody who actually was there when it was being designed.
Yeah, for sure. So it can only be attached to the short trooper group. So there's a limitation there. It's very good against any kind of sniper box list, because you could very easily sacrifice a short trooper, just run it up 10 spaces, and remember, it's got efficient travel, so you can move through other figures and difficult terrain easily, and then from there just blast something that's hiding behind a corner, which is very powerful. However, we have seen a big increase recently in Lion Ambush, and this obviously very much suffers against Lion Ambush. 7 health, no defensive buff, as we spoke about, it is very gettable. So, you know, and
not unique, so expensive, but not unique, so there's the potential to have more than one.
Correct. I mean, you would have to have 2 short trooper deployments in that case, and with them being 7 and this being 4, that would be 22 points towards 4 short troopers and 2 mortars. That would be really good still. I think there's a very good case to be made that could be good, but it is quite an investment to get 2 sets in.
Yeah, and of course we'll present a something of an attractive target.
Yeah, exactly. So finally we just have 2 Death Troopers. The main reason is, one, they are good attackers. They're a little bit below the curve for 4 points, let's say, but with Krennic, they suddenly go crazy. Them getting +2 damage or even +2 surge to their attack is very, very significant. And field tactics, that's actually something I forgot to put in your list. You probably want to put it in now, but strength in numbers. Because being able to go Death Trooper, Krennic, strength in numbers into basically any of your units is very, very, very good. So
yes, well, especially with the attack after attack after attack, you know, potential of Stormtroopers. That's always been one of their key sweet spots.
I mean, especially if you can put +2 damage on each of their attacks. So
absolutely,
it'll be very interesting. And then we have Zillow, because you can't play Empire without Zillow. And then Rule by Fear, because with limited card draw and there are so many good command cards in your deck, you're going to want to have it. And yeah, so any overall thoughts on the list? I mean, also one of the biggest reasons to have the Death Troopers is because they can give out 2 power tokens around, and then with Krennic, that's 3 tokens around, which means that you are going to be able to double.
Yes. Yes. So quite a busy a busy list for putting that around, but at the same time, every sort of squad-based is a nibble to death by ducks effect, right? You want to have lots of little attacks, and anything you can do to push those up makes a big difference. It seems good. I'm interested about the matchups. Obviously, this would be something that I think would be very good against the most scum meta that I'm most familiar with. But I'm still mindful of what kind of Drock or Blast or even sort of multi-attack rebel lists might do against this, or indeed straight, you know, mortar on mortar, Imperial on Imperial training exercises, as they're famous for doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see it being a good viable list without a lot of, apart from Director Krennic, you know, not a lot of pizzazz at the moment. So we'll have to see if it holds the line in a really straightforward way.
Yeah, exactly. So I used to run this list. I call it the Garrison because it's basically the forces of Scarif. And what I found is it's good. Its worst fear is Sabine and Loku. Because Sabine just bombs everyone, and then Loku can draw line of sight through people, so keeping Krennic alive is very, very difficult, which viewers of the stream will remember from my first stream game where I lost Krennic round 1 due to Loku. Which was painful.
I make no promises for keeping him alive. I'm also famous for the confidence of my dice. It's a secret to my success. So.
Yeah, no, I'm very interested to see how it will go. So we'll jump into a room now.
Okay.
That's IVA. We'll just do a random. That sounds good. ISB headquarters to your stations.
Sounds good.
That should be a really fun one. Alright, you should be able to synchronize them all. And now just gotta choose what list I want to run. So let's see, I've got...
I will build while you explain what you will be doing.
Yeah, sounds good. So, I got some options. I got my Scout Trooper list, which I ran last week. It was interesting. It's basically just all Scout Troopers, so I had 2 sets of the Scout Trooper unit, I had Blaze, and I had 2 sets of E-Webs. And then that's it. that is the list. 2 officers, I think, as well. It was fun, but it's a tricky one for sure. What else do we have? We've got... Krennic. So yeah, the version I gave you is one of my favorite ones, but I think the more tournament competitive variant of the list is a very similar one, but essentially instead of having the Stormtroopers and the Mortar, you have 2 sets of elite sentries. And sentries with Krennic do a significant amount of damage. And then being Guardians as well means you can put in Guardian cards and just really beef them up. So yeah,
I can see that. What about how are riots doing these days? That's something I feel like I don't hear very much about.
Yeah, no.
Perhaps people needed a break from them, but they.
Yeah, I mean, basically they were played a lot, considering that they were kind of the only viable units really against Spectre Cell and stuff like that. Whereas now you've got more options. They're still perfectly viable. There are just more, I think, fun trooper options out there. Except for the maniacs in Carolina who who do like to run a Stormtrooper Swarm, which actually you did once, didn't you? I remember you running that against me in practice.
Yes, the full riot swarm was was tricky because like so many things, it's very map dependent.
Yeah.
Because you are making a real bid for one kind of win when you play that way.
Absolutely. Okay, well let's see, what exactly do we want to run? We got some options, we got Pathfinders apparently. Hunters.
Should inquire the stream if they've got any requests, obviously.
Yeah, that's
anyway, if anybody wants to see, everybody wants to see you or this go up against something.
Yeah, if anyone has any ideas, I'd be happy to hear it. I mean, I can throw a list together in 2 minutes. But yeah, so
okay.
In the most recent set of competitive tournaments, it was interesting. So the 2 winning lists at the most recent high tier events were they both featured Royal Guards, but they were very different lists. There was the Junk Guard list, which I ran, which was
yes, using the junk droid to activate the Royal Guard, which you know our friend Triss will be thrilled to know had a second run because that was something he enjoyed playing with. He is a player who both spotted the junk droid opportunity as a swap into Imperialists and the original junk droid sort of multi-attack viability, which we argued in the UK for some time about whether that was true or not. But he clocked the right answer.
Yeah, it was disgusting. Its opponent did not get more than 20 points every single round of Swiss, and the top cut and the finals. It was gross because, so essentially the list was, you had Palpatine, you had a set of elite Royal Guards, you had the Royal Guard Champion, you had 3 regular officers, and you had an Argonaut. And it was just way too much. It was way too much because the Champion as well was getting an extra attack off, and it was gross because your opponent could be clever and position away from the Champion after he's activated. Then Junk Droid goes up, stands on the same spot as the Champion, then Palpatine activates, Pop kills the Junk Droid, triggering Executor, so the Champion gets to move 2 spaces and attack, and then Palpatine moves up and gives him another attack. It was absolutely disgusting, and it had to be nerfed actually. Okay, so we got some requests. 10 Greedos. I'm sorry, I'm not running all.
Absolutely.
I'm
Greedo family farm.
The Mando list you made for me. I want to see how you use it. I would, but I would feel bad running a 2 flamethrower and grenade list against a Stormtrooper.
Oh no, don't feel bad. Let's see how we do. I'd like a challenge, and especially
Okay.
if it's something that it's another make, we'll do their best to.
Okay.
I mean, frankly, if nothing else, this is a bit like lining up ducks at a shooting range as well. So, if that's a very good, effective illustration, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
of how that one works. So this is a Mando using the new Mando figure.
Yeah, it's basically all Mandalorians. So we've got Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, Shyla, and Sabine.
they'll never be able to resist Boba in the next season. I wish they wouldn't, but he's showing up. You know, he's definitely showing up. Right.
Yeah, no, but
This won't be the last time we'll see them together.
Yeah, no, Boba has been very, very good in IACP. It's been very fun to see.
Good.
Alright, so... And then Sabine from Rebels. Sabine Wren. Alrighty, well, but for the record, he did ask for this. So I'm going to apologise after...
I'm famous for that.
Yeah. No, Alistair is certainly a masochist. There's no doubt about that.
Well, see, I don't expect you'll have much need to be near anybody, but if I do manage to hit Mando with the mortar, you can just assume the child died. I mean, that's...
yeah.
That can be taken as read.
Yeah, and I will definitely be using Clannon too, because, you know, we've got to have Baby Yoda in here. It would be a bit of a crime if I didn't play Baby Yoda.
So you're showing... So has Boba been changed recently, or is this still the...
yeah, so...
What was his latest revision?
Yes, so he was worked in Season 2, but he was deemed, I think, too strong, so we pulled him back from the vote, or rather they did. I didn't join until right before Season 3. And then kept on working on him. So the current... Actually, I can show him on... for the stream viewers, I can show him on TTS. So Boba Fett here in ICP. So Boba currently, he has 3 abilities, which essentially he can spend once per round. So he's got Risk Court, which is once per round you may spend 2 movement points to choose a small figure within 3 spaces in your line of sight, push the chosen figure up to 3 spaces onto a space adjacent to you. So the previous version of this ability was and then stun that figure, which is insane, which just turned out to be insanely broken. It turned out that being able to push a figure 3 spaces off an objective already was so powerful that then stunning them was just so punishing that he was stupid. Then he also has Risk Flamethrower, which is once per round you may spend 2 movement points to choose a space within 2 spaces. Each other figure on or adjacent to that space suffers 1 damage and 1 strain and then becomes weakened. So again, he could fly up 10 spaces and then just flamethrow a whole bunch of people. Very effective. And then finally, EE3 Carbine. When you declare an attack, you may spend 2 movement points to change one of your attack dice to a red dice. Limit once per attack. So his regular attack pool is blue, green, green. So if the target is 3 away, you're going to go blue, green, red. If the target is 2 away or next to you, you're going to go red, green, green. And yeah, he's been very good. He actually did win one of the most previous tournaments, because the Royal Guard list, which wasn't Junk Guards, that one, was... it was Vader, Boba, and Elite Royal Guards.
Ooh, right.
With all the power tokens from extra armor, which meant that Vader, standing next to a Royal Guard, would have 2 blocks and 2 black dice, and Boba would have 3 blocks and a 8 and a black die.
So I imagine you put a lot of tokens down, but unless you could actually finish the job on any of them, that would be very painful.
Yeah, it steamrolled the event. I didn't do too well with it. Ollie and I designed the list together prior to the event. I was kicked out in the top 8, whereas he went on to win the whole event with us. Yeah, so that's Boba. He's very, very strong. It'll be fun to see him operate in this list. So, let's see, how many points are we at? We have 13, 15, 24, 31, 38, 2 points remaining. Okay, we'll do the Darksaber, because the Darksaber is very, very fun. It's... I'm not sure if you've seen the Darksaber. It is insanely powerful on Maul. On Sabine, it's a little bit of fun. But it takes Maul from a C tier figure to an A tier figure. Right. If not A star. He is very, very good with Darksaber. Essentially what it does... We might as well give it a look as well. Darksaber. So it can be attached either to Maul or Sabine, it's 1 point. If you are a Force user, you may use Imperial Command cards. If this card is attached to you, you may exhaust this card while attacking to reroll 1 attack die. And then for an action, you may perform a melee attack with a red die. Treat Blast X as Cleave X during this attack, then you may perform an attack. Which means that with Sabine, it's okay, she gets to shoot someone point blank, but she also gets to roll a single red dice for melee damage first. With Maul, Maul has +1 damage on all of his attacks and can choose to either autofocus or gain reach and cleave. Which means that Maul is coming at you with a red-green +1 and then red-green-yellow +1. Which is very, very handy.
Yeah. And well costed and somewhat limited in terms of who can use it. Tell me about the command cards point. Was that just to open up his Force user card options?
Yeah, exactly, because currently, apart from Force Rush and Full Surge, there aren't really any cards you could use. Whereas now, there's a very good reason for you to whenever you run Maul, put Dark Energy in the list, just because it gives him another way to trade a parting blow, do some extra damage. Also, it opens up the door for us that if we were to create better Imperial Force user cards going forwards, Maul is able to use them as well. I mean, currently it's not a huge change, just that line in particular, but it just future-proofs him a little bit.
Yep, that makes sense. It's something I think was a bit of an omission on his original design. I think he always was somebody you wanted to see using those dark power effects, even if he was in his lost half his midichlorians shape.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so I think I'm just 1 point away. So let's see. 13, 15, 16, 24, 31, 38, 39, 40. Yep, so we are bang on 40 points. So we'll do a quick command deck, which, as they are all hunters, just going to be a pretty classic hunter suite. Which is a little bit nerfed in IACP due to the assassinate change, but it's still inarguably very, very good.
Yes.
And they do have ways to get some serious damage out. With a lot of weakens and flamethrowers and a lot of unblockable damage. And a lot of movement control as well, with Shyla being able to whip someone, Maul can whip someone. It's not hard to pull someone out of position. Okay, so let's throw in some vehicle cards as well, because we've got a couple of vehicles in there, and vehicles are always fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, throw this in.
So I suppose the Mandalorian list, one of the things it's got going for it is a lot of movement manipulation, which is going to be trouble for anybody trying to protect a Queen Piece like myself, but also probably prefers bigger high-value targets. So being able to pull or push or throw a Vader into the wrong position or a position where everybody can bang on him must be sort of the idea behind all those whips and slings.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm definitely not discounting you at all in this game, because, I mean, just like you said, they definitely excel at really focusing on a Queen Piece and taking them down. However, having 2 flamethrowers and a grenade potentially going at every round can be very, very, very devastating. So we'll throw some personal command cards in. That, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm pretty happy to go with that.
They're the whistling birds.
Yeah.
I was wondering why that wasn't on the card, but they've arrived.
Yep. It's a very powerful command card. It's 1 special action, move up to 2 spaces, then choose up to 3 figures within 2 spaces, and roll a red die. Each of those figures suffers damage equal to the damage result. So a much more powerful version of Grenadier, but and it's cheaper, but only 1 figure can actually use it.
And indeed, positioning for that is the best thing about the grenade has always been the fact that it can roll around corners, whereas this you'd sort of have to put yourself there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're also going to put Rebel Graffiti in because I'm sorry, but that is simply how you play a Sabine list. But ironically enough, the Darksaber does make her Rebel Graffiti a little bit worse because the Darksaber wants her to move forwards, and Rebel Graffiti wants her to stay back. So it'll be interesting to see the dynamic element of that. And now I'm kind of at a loss because now I need to find a couple of zeros. And I guess we'll put in this, because you always run take. We'll throw in.
Well, I'd also say you're not really building for the map either, which is good because which you wouldn't otherwise. But
Yep.
this is not. This is one of the great. This map is one of the great equalizers in terms of big queen pieces, because you can't really abandon the places that you need to be. But if I know where you're going to put any of these guys, I can make sure that I can get enough line of sight to do as many hits as possible on it. So it's a good map for that. But this has been the bane of many singular high value figure lists.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, it is a little bit risky. Actually, yeah, keep in mind. Well, I'm gonna put planning in, even though I don't have any leaders. I just think being able to draw, to just at least cycle 2 cards, I think just is too valuable to give up. So we'll put planning in. We'll close it. This is not what I would consider a competitive tier Mandalorian list, but it's good, I think. So it should give a little bit of a challenge to Krennic. So we will put the Vassal overlay over there, and then we will work the magic. But yeah, no, I'm very excited to see exactly how this game turns out. Krennic is just one of my absolute favorite figures. He's actually one of the cards which I had the most influence in creating during IACP Season 4. Yeah, I'm very pleased with how he turned out. I think he's a very balanced and fun and powerful, which is a very handy mix to have. Yeah,
which the Empire has always needed. I think it was. I think its strength was in good vanilla generic units. Always has been, with Vader being the good exception. But I think that like Thrawn, like I think everybody thinks Thrawn was a very good addition to the game. I'd like to see if Krennic can be similar in that role.
I think so. Alrighty, so let's determine initiative. Determine initiative button. Player 1 starts with initiative, which I believe is me. Yes, that is me. So which side do I want? Because I have Mandalorians, I want the blue side.
Okay. Yeah, you can get around that. Get around those pipes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right through them. Okay, so I'll.
Alrighty. Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be very interesting.
Yeah, let's see how we can put it in a show. So, little cheat sheet for yourself there, or?
Yeah, just because the abilities are once per round. This is a small little sheet which happens when you generate the Boba Fett figure, and just lets you to mark when his Risk Cord and Flamethrower abilities have been used, as they are once per round. So let's see. I'm missing. Oh yeah, I'm missing the baby. Can't miss the baby. So let's.
I think that.
Baby Yoda.
There he is, the wee child.
Yes. He's an interesting one. He's got some nice capabilities of healing, and also to be able to reduce the damage of attacks, whilst still being, I think, very, very balanced for 1 point. Okay, so let's see. We want Boba Fett here. We want Sabine, I'd say, here as well. We want 3PO definitely here. Mandalorian here. This guy. Although, do I want more that side, considering that? Yeah, I probably want Boba that side, to be honest. Because I don't really want you just running in and taking all those objectives. Yeah, no worries, Stormsage. See you soon. Okay, alrighty. Well, let's do this. We will shuffle the deck. I draw 3 cards, whereas you draw 5 and discard 1.
I will be discarding 1, so let's do so. Do we share or discuss with the streamers, or do they have to wait in suspense?
Wait, what?
Do we have any means to show them what we're looking at, or do they have to wait until we surprise them?
They can see what I have, but
okay. Yeah. All right. I'll keep my eyes off the stream then.
Alrighty, well, best of luck, my friend, and have fun.
Indeed, shall do. And be the discard here.
And yeah, in case it wasn't clear, I'll be passing just a few times.
Yeah, I'll show you where it puts together.
We'll just change the place.
To drop a celebration off the start, so that'll be revealed. Wait, oops.
That is a lot of figures.
That's my exactly. They do not fit. So, okay. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 activations over. And the mortar activating in group. So
correct, yeah.
6 to your
5.
5.
So this is one of the very rare times with a Krennic trooper list where you will actually activate the opponent.
Yeah.
But yes, it's my initiative, but I'll choose to pass first because no reason not to.
Okay.
And we will see how it goes down.
So, I think I'm just wondering about that. Just looking at Krennic again with his speed and 2 spaces. Oh, do I? Yes, I might just look at some Death Troopers to start here. Let's give Director Krennic a defense token. Yeah, I'm activating this guy. And 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Might hold fire there. Yeah, stay there.
Sounds reasonable.
I will not pursue a continuation there.
Fair enough. I'll go with
number
first.
2.
We will focus the Mandalorian, and then go 1, 2, 3 to that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Storm Sage, my Boba is underneath my Baby Yoda figure, which is why he looks a little bit weird.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, well, I'll go with the non-numbered stormtroopers. I think we're going to be opening this door. So let's go 4 in door. I'll remove. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 onto station. And just mindful of what's likely coming. Let's just go 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll double up that one.
Fair enough.
That would be stormtroopers.
Okay. I'll go with. Yeah, the pain of having so many big figures. I guess we will go with... Yeah, sure. Let's go with Shyla. We'll just see what happens. So Shyla's going to gain her extra movement points, so she gains 5 movement points. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, open the door, and 5.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Right. Well, I have some thoughts. Let's see here. Got Mando and Boba ready to go up there. Unfocused. Is it time to do the shore troopers? I'm not entirely sure. Not what I had entirely in mind here, but could be fun. So this would be ignoring the wonderful token ability. This might be a decent line of sight shore trooper moment. Not sure if I get that second security station if I don't use at least one shore trooper for that though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And I like the idea of you sort of having to go for it.
So to answer Storm Sage's question in the stream chat, how are the points you get for killing a figure calculated? Just the point of the figure to put in the list, or no? So when you kill a figure, you get points equal to its figure cost. So for example, with these Stormtroopers, we can see that they have a deployment cost, big number, of 7, and a figure cost, small number, of 3. Which means that whenever a Stormtrooper is killed, they give away 3 points, but it costs 7 to put in the actual group. If you kill the last figure in the group and they have an attachment, you also score points equal to the cost of the attachment. So that's how gaining points from kills works.
I am going to possibly try to keep my powder dry. Maybe see if I can take that 3PO off the board. So I'll go with the troopers. And we're going to go, the regular troopers, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3. Am I happy with this line of sights? How you react and what I do. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's just shoot at 3PO there at range 5.
Yep, sounds good.
Clear dice.
Any cards in declare?
None on declare.
Same here. Oh my.
That's requiring the accuracy.
Indeed. Maybe
I will re-roll. Yes, I'll re-roll the green. Ooh, all right.
Oh, yeah, it's not,
Let's see how you do.
There
you go.
Okay. There's the big Xbox.
3, 4, and this one. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. Same shot.
Yep. Decent. Oh my god. It's going to be one of those games, huh?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I'll just hang on the terminal with this guy back there. So that's them route.
Okay.
I've had Worlds champions this way, and though surprisingly, I ended up still losing. So
yeah, I mean,
when you get really fixated on killing 3PO and you after you've invested a lot in him.
Yep. No,
I'll just kill him with Blast instead.
Yeah, I remember in one of my games against Spectre Cell at the final Worlds Championships so far. I was going up against Spectre Cell on Blitz, and I dodged 7 times. I killed Lamb round 1 with I killed his Lamb with my Intel League, and I still lost because Spectre Cell Blitz is that broken.
Yep.
Anyway,
comes around that way.
Okay. Enough whining on my end. We will then go with Sabine. She will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Throw a grenade to damage this guy.
Okay.
Which is no damage. Which I'm fine with because I just dodged twice. She'll then move up 2 back to there, and then I'll play Rebel Graffiti because I'm a bad person.
I'm gonna have to spend the negate on that now, so let's get it out.
That is perfectly reasonable.
Negated.
So Rebel Graffiti gone, negation gone. Both very big. And that is Sabinicus.
Okay. 2 big ones to go. I'm still holding back that Krennic and that Death Trooper. Don't have a very clever idea for Krennic. So I think I'll go with Krennic now. He is going to choose the... Well, sorry, is it start of his activation?
Yep. Start of activation, he gives away...
Within 2.
Within 3, because
Okay.
he's got...
Oh, we're going to treat it as if he's got that, yeah. Alright, I will drop a damage token on the mortar.
Yep, makes sense.
Find one. There we go. And we'll move to, I think, there. I feel pretty confident with that. And let's just leave him there for now.
Okay. Sounds decent. It's actually a really nice spot.
Yeah, you'll have to, I think you're going to have to be in range of me to get a piece of him. We'll see. Okay, that's me. With just the shore troopers and a death trooper to go.
Okay. Well, I'll go with the Mandalorian.
Okay.
We'll go 1, 2, 3. We will shoot this stormtrooper with the disruptor rifle action. And what that does essentially is that after the attack resolves, if you were to survive by 1 health, you die.
Okay.
So it's basically plus 1 damage.
Explode.
Yeah, exactly. Plus 1 damage if that would be enough to kill you. So I have no cards to declare. Any for you?
None on declare, no.
Okay,
None on attack.
So we will then go with blue. Blue, green, green, red. Yeah, that's a dead stormtrooper.
Got accuracy, and that's a dead trooper. Let's remove him from
so
the
3
equation.
points, but you do get a focus, which is critical.
Yes, and I think for the 2 squad, I'm going to put it... Ooh, well, it's a tough choice. I think I will put it on this pretty well hidden one. Well, if he dies, he dies. I'll put it on this guy.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. And then I'll push the child just here.
Just hovers and hovers. Okay. Oh, look at that wonderful blast radius.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a grenade, it could do something seriously. But the child does have a fun rule where if he isn't the target of an attack, he can't suffer damage.
Yes, he's not. He's too small to have blast go through.
Yeah. The
Okay.
definition of plot armor, or rather fanboy armor.
So. I think we... One last thing on these death troopers before Bubba comes in. This death trooper will go 1, giving a 2, 3. Yep, giving a surge token here.
Yeah, good choice. It's Control 6 for surges.
There you are. Just roll through. And one says 1. And I think I'm going to just take another pot shot at 3PO at range 7, which I think is... it's
possible. I mean, if you roll 1 on the yellow and a surge, and use the surge for +2, you could do it.
Nothing on declare if that wasn't clear.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that's range 1, 2, 3, 4 with the 1. Oh, yeah. Okay, so in range 6. So yeah, right now with the surge, you are hitting him and killing him. So I'll have to reroll.
Pierce 1 is great.
Yes. I'll have to reroll. Oh my goodness.
There. Look at that.
That is Death Trooper. That is Death Troop accuracy.
Death Trooper
right
to the name. That's what he likes to see.
Indeed. Dead 3PO right there. 2 points for yourself.
Take it. Excellent. Can't celebrate it, but I'll be happy with it anyway. And
This
one,
could be
two,
painful.
3. This is I've got a 4 left. I've got flamethrowers and things coming. I think actually I'm willing to put him up there. So that's to finish the turn.
Fair enough. Let's see. Is the wrist cord within 3 spaces? Yes, it is. Interesting. In that case, I think I know what we are going to do. So Boba's going to activate. He's going to perform 2 move actions. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are then going to use zip cord.
Okay.
Pull this trooper 3 spaces. 1, 2,
Alright, pull him
3.
up.
Pushing to there. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're then going to go. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going to go 8. Then 9, 10 to flamethrower the stormtrooper.
Okay.
So they all take 1 damage, 1 strain, and become weakened.
Okay. I'll think this is going to be. That's for most of them. I think this is comfortably 2 each and weakens.
Yes. And then with my remaining 2 move points, I'm going to move 2 to the station.
Okay. Well, I could have placed the mortar a little bit better for the Krennic, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, right now you could, if you were to move up, you could form a regular shot onto Shyla or the Mando with it. It moves up 1.
Yes, as opposed to the given the accuracy being what it is, I think it's the blast 1 isn't worth it for the alternative. So I think the question is, do I put both under the security stations? I think I definitely put at least 1.
Yeah.
So let's have this short for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if there is any drawback to just being in base to base with you, since you're likely to move anyway. The Darksaber doesn't grant an additional attack, it just grants an option for an attack.
No, it gives you an extra melee attack with a singular red die first.
Ah, so you are able to perform multiple attacks around.
Yeah, for 1 action, I would get to perform a melee attack with a red die and then a regular range attack. And they can be against different targets.
But then you wouldn't be able to attack again. That would be your...
Yeah, exactly. So for one action, I would get 2 attacks.
Yes, yeah.
One of them a very weak attack.
Got it.
But it's still an attack.
But since you'll be able to do that and then move, I don't know if there's much difference to being up 1 for more line of sight. I'm going to go up 1 for more line of sight.
Fair enough.
And 2, 3. Five, 1, 2. I'll put this one behind Boba. And as I said, this one will move up 1 and take a shot at... Let's see, Shyla or Mando? Mando's got, what, 12 health? No extra surge block? 2 blocks?
Yeah, exactly. But he has 2 block power tokens on spawn because of his Beskar armor ability.
Yeah. Let's start working on the Beskar armor. So I'm going to go for Mando at range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will use my power token for 2.
Yep, so you take a strain as a result, which I presume you'll just take as damage.
I certainly shall. And here's that attack roll, which is...
Well, I really hope you make it. I think you will, but I'll spend a lock token.
2s, and I'm spending 2 damage tokens, so 2 and 1. Ooh.
Another great roll, but you did get accuracy, I believe, with a 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 2, and a 1, and an A2, and a surge plus 2. You are getting it.
Yes. So, not a lot I can do with that necessarily.
Hmm.
No rerolls on this one.
Yep, same here. So, but that is still 4 damage.
4 through.
It's not bad for a min roll.
Yeah. We'll see how that one carries on.
Mm. And he is now within 3 of Krennic, which is going to make his fire mission especially scary. Okay, so at that point we will ready cards. We get to draw 2 cards each because we're both holding terminals.
Okay. You've got 1 terminal worth of points. Oh no, sorry, we're controlling all. And drawing 2. Okay.
Nice.
So, ready to turn?
Indeed. So initiative flips over to you. Or I guess end
Right.
of round effects first. I didn't have any end of round effects, do you?
Nothing for the end, no.
Okay. I don't like the sound of that.
Yes.
Initiative flips to you. Do you have any starter round effects?
I do. I shall. I will, first of all, I'm going to... it's time to deploy the garrison, if it wasn't
Okay.
before already.
I love it.
So, let's go through each of these and decide what they want.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy will have lost his token anyway. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So, I'm just wondering if it's time to which... Got 1 surge token down here on this shore trooper. Nothing on that one there. But let's... Some divided attack here. Death Trooper. And the Stormtrooper squad has been largely weakened.
Yes.
Um,
So they aren't able to gain surge tokens. It's only damage or movement points.
yes, damage, exactly. Damage or movement points. I will... Let's go through them from the back. The from the back, yes, will definitely take a strain, which I will lose as a... starting with the mortar,
Okay.
I will gain a damage token,
Yep, makes sense.
and I will take a damage for that, I think.
Yep, makes sense.
This one will... 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. I think he's fine. This short trooper will take a damage token to gain... Take a strain to gain a damage token.
So also, it is a mandatory effect, which is kind of why it's... Some people think it's not good enough for 2 points. Every trooper has to suffer a strain. And
Gets the one or the other. No
Yeah.
choice. I see.
They can't refuse.
So this one will, I think,
But
take
you
the movement
cannot
points.
always get the choice of, discard a card for a strain.
Yeah. We'll get in the way this game is going to be. Should we see how it goes for that? But that makes it, of course, very pricey for a deck like mine.
Yeah.
This one will take a damage. How much am I doing in deck? Don't actually have that much left. You don't really throw out very much strain anymore. I don't think Boba throws any strain anymore, does he?
Boba does 1 damage, 1 strain
with his flamethrower. Yeah.
And the Mandalorian does 1 damage and 1 strain with his flamethrower.
Okay. Right. Well, let's give both of these stormtroopers a damage and a... Oops. There you go. A damage token, which is a damage... Oops, don't move. Damage token. Well, why doesn't this Death Trooper just move 2 to there? And this Death Trooper will take a damage token. And I wish I was keeping track of who's done what yet, but I suppose they didn't have this. May as well give this guy a token as well. I'll drop a card for him. There goes planning.
Okay, that's not too bad.
And that is done. Done, and done. I think that's all of them.
I think so too.
So it's time now to call the Vanguard, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just one of the best combos when you have those two in the same round. I mean,
I was hoping on the take. We'll see on the take initiative turn. Problem is, I may be best to call the Vanguard with a squad of weakened stormtroopers, who will of course not lose their weaken.
Well, you can't call the Vanguard with stormtroopers, as they are 3-point figures.
Yeah, so it's the shore troopers or
shore
the
troopers,
death troopers.
Yeah, no, the shore troopers could definitely be worth it.
So, just what is the best shot for that? 1, 2. 1, 2, Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this short trooper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will attack Mando.
Love it.
Using a surge, which will be 2, 3.
And now this
I
kind of
could
debate comes. Although also I don't think you did it on him yet.
1, 2, 3.
I don't think he got a damage token or strain or movement.
Good point, actually. I will do 2 movement points for him for damage, and that way I can 1, 2, 3. Let's just take him to there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm confident, and he will use his surge token.
Okay. Although if you move one to the right, you get the reroll from the stormtrooper. It does box you up a little bit, but that reroll could.
Good point. Oh, I still got moved. I still got the move left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's just take this back. Let's just take the damage. I don't know the double surge makes me too excited right now, so I'll just take the damage token instead of the movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that allows me to. Oh, come on. And that's the one I'll get rid of. And there we go. So let's just use it for double damage on Mando.
Double damage, okay.
So this
double surge does guarantee the range, though. I'm just going to say that.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm reasonably confident. Let's see.
Fair enough. Okay, let's see. I'll spend my other block token.
Okay, so 2
wait,
damage.
Actually, I just realized something. I'm going to look something up.
And that is a damage for me as well, for the privilege of double damaging that. And that is a green and a red. Which I know you're looking something up. I'm just
yeah, no, it's fine. I'll do it
this
later.
one through.
But, okay, it's very slow. Okay, so that's looking like 6 damage going through.
Would that not be 6 through? Yes.
Oh no, actually 4 through because you need to search. Oh no, you don't need to search for range. You got 2 in the dice
1,
and
2,
2 and 8.
3, 4. Yeah, it should be fine.
So 6 damage. 2 health remaining.
10 of 12.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed. So now, any other starter round effects you would like to play?
No other starter round effects.
Okay. Neither do I. So you may proceed.
Okay. Big choices all around. 2 left. Reasonably healthy. I think we'll go with the weakened stormtroopers, which is squad 1.
Fair enough.
2, 3, 4. Remind me what's. But we're still rolling 1. So let's take this weakened one from the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll shoot at Mando.
Okay.
Weakened, he'll use his token, which can't be doubled.
Okay, well I might as well do it now. The child is, which I should have used last attack, but I thought I could wait with it, but that was probably a bad idea. He's going to use Force Exhaustion, which is when an attack is declared targeting a friendly figure with clan of 2, you may become incapacitated. If you do, the attacker removes 1 attack die from the attack pool and becomes weakened. Which you're
my choice.
Weakened. Yep, so you get to choose which die you remove.
With a reroll, I'm going to.
Considering it's range 3. And
yeah, I'll still keep it. I'll retain my blue.
Yeah.
Plus 1 damage.
Seems decent. Okay, let's see it.
Okay.
You
I will re-roll it.
Yeah. Nice.
So hit for 1.
1 damage going through. Hey.
And no longer weakened.
Indeed.
I'll find it eventually.
Well, I mean, at least the child made you perform an extra attack.
Absolutely. And the child is now incapacitated as far as anybody's concerned.
Correct.
For the foreseeable. 1, 2, 3. Sabine's there. Let's go up. Let's just shoot you from there. I will. This is still on Mando. Bit overkill. I will save the token. Believe it or not. There.
Okay. Indeed, that is a dead Mando.
Okay.
Which is 9 points. And now that he's dead, a unique figure does have the capability to retrieve the companion for 1 point.
Indeed. Okay, well let's just do his last movement up to there and lose weaken. I guess every time. I'm like, this time I'll definitely remember which. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3 for harmful, 4, 5 for beneficial, 6, 7.
Absolutely. You'd think by now.
Yeah.
And the last Squad 1 Stormtrooper. I think there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she doesn't have much that I'm thrilled itty bits for him to do. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4 next to Boba. And let's just shoot Boba. We will use a token on this one.
Okay. Let's see it.
Rolling 1. Rolling 1. No reroll. So that's 3, I think.
That's 2, I think.
Oh, 2.
Yep.
2.
2 damage. Not bad.
Okay, and that's token off. That is 1 squad done. Over to you.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can't limit you a little bit. What are she does have. Yeah, let's probably do that. Okay, well, Shyla is going to activate. We are just going to get the movement point, because no reason not to. We are going to go 1 and 2. Going to attack you there.
Okay.
With no cards in the clear, any for you?
Let's just see here. Within 3 spaces. This may be a time to get behind me. I'm just trying to decide if it's worth it. I believe it might be. Move up to 3 spaces into a space adjacent. That attack targets you instead if able. 2, 3. There's a few places for it. I think I will just allow you to target me up here.
You do have to be adjacent to my original target, so you need to be.
Oh, adjacent to the original target. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So you need to be that, but.
Because I couldn't get one. I couldn't get to there. I don't think. Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Well, let's see. I might not be able to kill you there, but I might. We'll see.
Saves me a. Anyways, let's get behind me.
Yes. Nice.
Revealed and played.
Yeah. All right. So attack pool, green, green, yellow. Let's see. Nice attack roll.
Okay. Any rerolls from you to start with?
No rerolls. Any for you?
3. So Shyla, reminding me, no rerolls. No. So let's see your modifiers first.
Okay. Well, currently I'm looking at 3 damage in the surge. I am not going to do any modifiers. Oh, unless I really want to. I mean, that would be pretty nice. Considering something, and I think actually it might be worth it. Yeah, I'll play heightened.
Okay.
So no evade for you.
So that is looking at the potential of 5 damage,
Yeah. So what are your modifiers?
which would be 6 on 7. I will. So it would be Zillow. And then it's Pierce 2 for her, right? Or Pierce 3?
It's Pierce 2, but I also have Cleave 2, which is kind of the main reason of why I want to.
Yes, of course. Trying to make sure you get something through. Just trying to decide if it's worth Zillowing a card here. I don't think I shall. I'll let you put the damage through.
Fair enough. So that'll be 5 damage on him, and then 2 damage on this guy. So Short Trooper takes 2. So then 3 mana points left. We will just go 1, 2, 3 to that.
Okay. Healthy Shyla.
Indeed.
Two. 1, 2. Great. Okay, well, I will. Are you all done for the round then?
Not the round.
Or for the nice to be so lucky.
For the activation,
let's go with Death Trooper number non-merged. 1, 2, 3. Adjacent friendly may gain 1. Oof. You don't really need another one, do you? I'll just give this guy a block token since I can't be bothered to do anything else.
Fair enough.
Why not? And 4. Let's just stay 3 and attack Boba while I'm weakened.
Yep, sounds good. I doubt you'll get any surges through, but we'll see.
Rolling
good.
1 and 1. So that would be
1 more damage.
Looking at 1 damage through. Yep. We'll lose that weakened. 1, 2, 3. And do I move down or not? I think I do. Yep. Take it to there. And I will use the field tactics to activate another one. It'll be the other Death Trooper.
Fair enough.
2, 3. Who's going to pop here and attack with the element of surprise.
Ah, excellent.
Let's see. There's a lot more writing on this than I'd like, but let's see how much I can put through here. I'll be using a damage token.
Sounds good.
And 1 and 1. Oh, they can do it to you. So 3 damage. It's what it looks like.
Okay. Goes to 6 damage. 8 health remaining.
Okay. Yeah, not a lot put through there. That is me done.
Okay.
Shyla and Sabine and Boba to go.
I think I probably have to go with Boba, even though I really want to go with Sabine. I think he's the better choice at this point. So let's see, what exactly are my options here? We could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, let's do this. I'm gonna probably ruin your day a little bit, but I'll activate Boba. I'll play Overrun.
Okay.
And then for my first 2 movement points, I'm going to flamethrower this space.
Okay, so that's with 1 damage, 1 strain to all.
Correct, but except for Boba, as it says other figure.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just take 1 damage and a card on this stormtrooper.
Mm-hmm.
Losing combat resupply. I will let this one will be gone. That death trooper, and this one, 3. I will again lose a card and take 1 damage. Reveal. That'll be all.
Okay.
Oh, weakened.
Yes. So that was 2 movement points. I will then go. Okay, I probably misplayed that a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's do that. So 1, 2. We'll then go 3, 4, 5. So they both take 2 damage each.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will shoot this guy.
Okay. Range 5, yeah.
No cards in declare.
Nothing from me.
Okay. So that's 4 damage going through. You could throw a card, which will take it down to 3, but that would still kill you. So I'm not going to do any modifiers.
That is. Wait, how is that 4? Just talk through it again.
So you've got 1 block
3.
blocking my blue die, 2 damage showing, and then search for +2.
Not using the pierce. Yeah. I don't think there's anything I can do about that, so that's him gone.
Excellent. So it's another 4 points. Then with my final movement point, I'll shuffle into the corner here.
Okay. Right. With 8 health left remaining, did you say?
8 health remaining, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just Sabine to activate.
Correct.
Okay. Well, let's go with the shore troopers then. Let's exhaust this guy. This guy will go just 1 to there.
Mm-hmm.
And shoot using his token as well.
Okay.
That's red, green +1 on Sabine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that'll be 4 damage going through.
Mm-hmm. I'll then use the fire on Sabine from the hidden position, and again use the token, take another strain damage to do it for 2 + 2 damage.
Very nice.
So
Range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is very hittable. So no
blue, and 1 green.
There.
Blue, and 1 green +2.
Ay. Okay, so that looks like 6 damage. I think that's 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -1 is 6. So she lives on 1.
That seems about right.
Oh, yeah.
And that is going to take that token off, and that token off. And that is them done.
Okay. Well, let's go to Sabine.
Mm-hmm.
We will start with ability, which is rarely used, but I'll do evasive maneuver, move up to 2 spaces, and recover 2 damage.
Certainly.
So I'll move 1 to there, covering 2. Then I'll use the Dark Saber action on this guy. So first, a singular melee attack with a red die. No cards in declare.
Nothing on declare for me.
Okay. I can search for PS2. Should do 1 damage. Would you like to Zillow?
On 1, I will. I think this is a full effect, though, isn't it? So 1 damage? No, I'll leave it.
Okay, so 1 damage. And then I'll perform a regular shot. No cards. Any for you?
None for me.
That is 5 damage, my friend. Would you like to mill a card to keep him alive temporarily?
It's 6, 7.
Have a grenade?
Yes, I think we got a bomb to throw, right?
Yeah.
But no more movement.
Correct.
Okay. No, I think I'll just let him go. Let you throw the bomb.
Sounds good. So 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then throwing a bomb, this guy is going to take 1 green die. 0 again.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, that is it for me for the round.
So I have Krennic and the stormtroopers to go. I think this guy is going to have to see if he can do something clever here. He's going to sit there and shoot at Sabine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's take Krennic first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see how Krennic contributes. So at the start of Krennic's turn, he will give a damage token to this guy. Go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
And take a shot at Sabine from there.
Sounds good. So yellow-green +1 surge.
Yellow-green +1.
Versus a white die is very possible to get me. Yep, that is a dead Sabine. Because right there, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage PS1 showing. Which is not bad.
Okay, we'll take it.
Sabine is dead, which gives you 8 points due to the Darksaber.
8 points. Right, now that means I'm left with the regular stormtroopers.
Correct. Which are the numbered ones, I believe.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So this one will claim the point on the upside there. And this one will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Fair enough.
That is them out.
Cool. Alrighty, well we will ready cards.
And both readying 1 because I've abandoned all the terminals and haven't. I assume your incapacitated child is not doing much for you there. Okay, so drawing 1.
1 card each. Okay.
And scoring
3
the terminal, which is 3. I have no shot with the can't get an eye control.
Alrighty. Well, initiative then flips back over to me.
No ends for me.
Yep, no ends for me, and no starts for me. Any of you?
Okay. I will attempt the take.
Okay, I don't have negation, so it is yours. Who are you going to exhaust? I think I know who it is.
I think it's going to be the... Is it completely obvious?
I think so, because you don't have any short troopers, which means the mortar is currently not doing anything. Arguably. I mean, best thing...
Oh, yeah, wouldn't be able to do anything for some time, yeah. I was wondering with the Death Troopers, but yes, I think you're quite right. It is... Was 1 Death Trooper out? I should probably cover these. Death Trooper numbered is
one
gone.
Of the troopers has been killed.
Yeah. And they're gone, yeah. I will indeed exhaust the mortar.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. So... what did I say earlier on? These are too spread out, these stormtroopers, but I don't think this is... I don't think this is a definite kill on Boba.
Definitely not.
By any means.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, but I think it's certainly worth the effort.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's go with the non-numbered stormtroopers. This weakened one will shoot at Boba.
Sounds good. Any cards?
Nothing on declare now. For a weekend, that's good for a weekend. I'll take the 2.
6 health.
I will then field tactician to move this Death Trooper 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Allowing this guy to come in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Very nice.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll save that actually, because I think it should be 1 and shoot you from there on Boba. 1, 2, 3. No token.
I'm not sure. This guy might have been one space further up. Yeah, I think he was there.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yep. So, shot from there with this one without token.
Without reroll 2 though.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Shoot a Boba. Range 4.
Yep. Sounds good.
Oh, what's I'd like to see?
No damage there.
I will reroll the green. Yep, same. And that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4 for a shot with reroll. And this guy's lost his weaken. And I'll put a damage token on this one.
Okay.
Good.
Not bad.
I think I'll reroll the green.
Makes sense.
Nah,
Okay.
no difference.
So 2 damage.
Sorry?
Okay, so he is now on 4 health remaining.
I think that's maybe 4 damage with the token.
I think that's only 1 damage. Sorry, 2 damage.
Oh, surge! Sorry, surge because I didn't get the extra surge. Yes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 damage. Got it. All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Troopers down. Yep. What's Boba's 10 of 13?
10 of 14.
14. Yeah. Yeah, that's hard to get.
It is. It definitely is. Well, what does Boba want to do is the question. Does Boba activate now and just do a bunch of stuff? Or does Shyla activate now and try and kill 2 figures? I don't think we should be too greedy right now, so let's go with Boba, I think. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no. I'm gonna be really risky with this. We're gonna go with Shyla. So she's gonna take the moving point. We're going to attack this guy. No casts.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Not great. Definitely not great. Yeah, that's a shame. I'll still play it because I think this is probably the best opportunity. I'll play Assassinate +3.
Okay.
Don't think that's enough though. My surge
Not
is
quite a kill.
Yeah, so modify your modifiers first.
None.
Okay. So I'll search for +2 and I'll search for cleave 2 to kill the Death Trooper.
Okay, so that makes 4 damage through. And dead Death Trooper.
Thanks. Yeah, 4 damage and dead Death Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
And then with my 5 movement points, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there.
Okay. There's 2 sitting on that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not gonna get around to that. So let's go with those troopers. This is, I think it's yours now, but let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
1, 2 for a possibly very old focus on this guy. There we go. Rolling, attacking on Shyla.
Not bad. So 5 damage.
5 damage and 3, 4 back. Oh, I should have popped a token on that, but let's just.
No, it's fine. If you want to throw it in, it doesn't change.
Yeah, may as well. I think it's gonna. It wouldn't have been worth keeping.
Yeah.
So 6 and back, and this guy will just move back to there.
Okay.
Done.
I suppose from a spot he could move up, to this spot and shoot Shyla if he wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think at the range without the reroll, it's better than it's literally better than the 3 points.
Although Krennic could still take the points, is what I'm thinking.
I think I'm going to actually use Krennic for the attack.
Ah, I see. Okay.
He's better. He's better to coax out your other attacker.
That's certainly fair.
At the start of the next turn.
Right. Well, Boba is going to do some nastiness.
3, 4, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, well, let's go with Boba. He is going to start off by just shooting this guy. Point blank in the face, no cards.
Okay.
Any of you?
No, I've actually got no cards in hand, so...
Sounds good. Search for +2 PS1. So that should get him.
It's enough, Yes, either way, yep.
Okay, so 3 points. He will then go 1, 2, 3, flame through both of these.
Sorry. Yeah. So that one will go, and that one will drop a card.
Okay. Price of Glory. That's nice. And then becomes weakened, and then he goes to there.
Okay. And that is weakened. Right, so 1 station in control with no shot. Krennic. Do 4 damage to Boba somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoot from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 range.
Just make sure you're not blocking line of sight to Shyla from the station in the ground.
Ooh, I think I am, but I don't think I can avoid that if I want the shot, unless I think it's hard to win this one, but I think from there, I'm going to block the shot anyway, but I think Shyla's not really likely to be... 1, 2, 3... I don't think I can avoid blocking that line of sight, really.
Let's see. So what's the total numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 by 2. So if we go to draw 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I think they clip both of those.
Yeah, you're right.
So if it's don't know Krennic well enough to know his range, but I think
very inconsistent is what I can say.
Well, let's change track then. Let's try to get see if we can take Shyla. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 range. I'll pop a block token on this guy here. Left. And let's just do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 range shot.
Okay.
Is that possible?
7.
Plus 1 of 2.
So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it is possible. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, I think because of the line of sight, it's hard to avoid this. So let's go with that.
Okay.
This may not be possible because of the range.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No.
5, yeah, okay.
Close.
Right, I will back 1 to there, I suppose. I think this is yours, but I think it's because of Boba not being able to get him down there.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, just Boba is borderline unbeatable if you're just running Trooper Swarm, because the individual attacks won't really do enough, and he's just going to flame through everyone. Yeah,
a good grenade or a good hit or two might have made a difference there, because he did get him to 10. But yeah, I think that's or some weaken perhaps is necessary in the deck, or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could have made a difference. Anyway, I think that'll probably be a very easy cleanup game given with Boba's abilities for the next one. So
yeah, exactly.
Shall we call it there? I need to actually set up for my next thing. So
yeah,
that was good. Yeah, very interesting. Very cool with the mortar. I think. I think. Where do I feel like I didn't quite. I'm reasonably happy with how that played, even though Boba was just too hard to get.
Yeah.
I don't think there was an option for ignoring Boba, so went for him. But I was kind of hoping I would draw into some damage. What did I not draw? Grenadier, ready weapons, concentrated fire. That would have been a big difference. That might have been a difference.
Yeah, that would have been huge. I mean, those two cards, could, it's 2 red die worth of damage on Boba. That could have been 6 damage, which would have killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Your draw wasn't really the best. You had some good cards. I mean, drawing I don't know. I mean, Deploy the Garrison is great, but against such a flamethrowery list, it did.
Yes, I don't know if it made the difference on anybody surviving, but yes, it was. It actually. I wonder about the. I'm gonna take a middle road between people who say it's too good or too bad with the all. It's quite a pace slower. For swarm lists as a card, which is not the card's fault necessarily, but when you have all troopers and you have to sort of consider all the merits of each of them one by one,
yeah, for sure,
because it's not an option that because you can't just sort of write some out. I think that makes a difference. But fun. I think this is some cool, healthy list building here. It was really fun to play it again.
Oh well, I'm
excellent.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, and it was nice to play with you too.
Yes.
See you back in this.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for watching. I'm gonna have to sign off now to catch the door. But if you wanted to wrap up, I'll just be offline.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll wrap up.
Cool.
All right. Well, take
Thanks,
care,
everyone.
Alistair.
Thanks, everyone.
Having you.
Bye. Good to play. Take care.
Alrighty. Well, once again, thank you everyone for coming on and listening. I think it was a really... It was nice to have Alistair come on, who, again, is a top-tier, internationally competitive player, who hasn't played much of IACP, and give his thoughts on exactly the card that we played here. And yeah, I want to thank everyone for watching along, and before I log off, what I do want to reiterate, if you haven't seen it already, go check the IACP website. There is a new article out called They Fly Now, and essentially it details everything you need to know about the upcoming tournaments. They will be the most premier tier events that we'll be holding for Season 4, and they will be happening in, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. And we have split them by time zone, so if you are in Europe, there is one event clearly situated towards that time zone. If you are over in Asia or in an oceanic time zone, such as Australia or New Zealand, then there's one for you guys as well, which should be at least better for you guys. Then there's also an American one, if you're over there. And obviously you can sign up for whichever one you want. Your geographical location doesn't really matter. It just, with how time zones is going to work for you. And yeah, I do hope to see you there. We have a bunch of prize support, all prepared, commissioned artwork, all of full stops. I think you're going to enjoy it, so go and check it out if you haven't already. I hope to see you at the event. And with that, I will see you next Friday.